Well, howdy. A couple of folks had asked if I would just do a quick instructional thing on how you change the scales on your Victorinox Swiss Army knives. So here's just a quick one of how I do it. There's loads of different ways to do it, and most people would say you're meant to soak these in warm water for 10 minutes to soften up the scales. I don't ever bother doing that. You can just pop these off as is and swap them about. By doing this without the soaking, I tend to get 2, 3, 4 occasions of use out of scales where you can reattach them without needing to glue them on or anything. So I always remove the scale tools first, and using a thin blade type implement, I like to use the can opener blade because it is thin and sharp, but you don't want to be prizing off, risk knackering up your main blade or anything. So you have to just jemmy that into position on the scales there somehow, work it in there. Some people go from this end here actually. Let's try that. This will be the first time I've done it this way. I always figured it might damage these. So yeah, I'm going to do it the way I normally do it. That's it. So that just slides under. Then there's pins here, here, and I think either here or here. So you just slide your bladed item under there, pop it off, pops off, slide it along, gentle prise in, pop that one off, and the whole thing's just pinged off there. Sometimes you get, yes, a little bit of the plastic residue. I guess that's what you risk damaging every time you pop these off without soaking them in warm water first. But yeah, that's come off nice and clean. Same thing on the other side. I like to flip this up and then do this, or if I do damage the scales it's less easily seen. So slide that blade in between the plastic and the liner, slide it along, gentle twist, pops off, pop that off there, and the other pin that side, there we go, that is done. Scales are off. This is an 84mm knife for sportsmen. Those scales can be reused on another 84mm knife. This one is now ready for the new scales. Just clean any bits of that plasticky residue off there, and if your new scales are accurate they should just pop on. So let's have a look and see if these will just press on. They seem to fit like an absolute glove. I'm able to just press fit those on. They're going to need some pressure to get them on fully flush. That is cut really nicely, and that looks great in terms of fit and finish. And there's a couple of ways to apply these scales. Sometimes you can just press them on, but as you can see there are little gaps there. So what I always tend to do, because I can't often be bothered to walk out to my garage where my vise is I'll use a pair of water pump pliers. These are the Ace Knipex Cobras. I'm just going to use these to press the scales on at where the pins are. These have got quite aggressive teeth in there, so I've had to hand a knackered old fleece jacket, which I'm going to fold over a few times to make a nice thick layer to protect the scales, and just press them on all the way along, applying some pressure. I'm going to raise the corkscrew there. Let's give those ends a press down a bit more and work along, and those are on, and that looks good to me. There, that's it. That's all there is to it. The proper way to do it, the best way, is to pop them in a vise and apply some gentle pressure, but that is great. They're on. Man, those scales feel amazing. Oh look, I've managed to mark the scales with my pliers. What an idiot. I don't actually mind. My knives are to be used. They're not collector's pieces, but yeah, I've marked the scales. Make sure you get a real thick bit of fabric around there if you're going to use water pump pliers with teeth. There's my little vise. Just going to pop some folded tissue in there to protect the scales. Wrap her in and just gently press that on. So that's kind of in position, just some gentle pressure. That's enough. We don't want to bend the liners or anything. Again, just a bit of pressure.